Welcome back to the channel. This is Robert at Retro Car Guide 530. In today's video I'm going to alter the sound characteristics of my 2017 Chevrolet SS Sedan just a little bit. I'm going to modify the kazoo tube on my 17 SS Sedan by blocking it at the air inlet. And you're asking, well, what's a kazoo tube? Well, that's what the name that's been given to this particular tube, which brings engine noise into the passenger compartment. When you hit the accelerator in a moderate level, it starts bringing in noise into the passenger compartment, make it sound like the engine's more responsive and louder than it is. To me, this particular noise, you already have an LS3 V8 sitting out there, so there's a lot of natural noise from that. You just don't need this, what sounds like to me, artificial noise coming in. So I'd rather just have it be more like the 14 and 15 model year, where it had no such device. So I'm going to block the front end of the tube by the air inlet, and that way there's no noise going into the passenger compartment. So there's one of three ways to deal with this. One is the approach I'm taking, blocking it by the air intake. One is to block it at the firewall. And if you block it at both ends, you can actually remove the entire tubing that runs along the driver's side of the engine. So depending on which approach you want to take, you can go either way, any of those three ways. But in my particular case, I'm going to leave the tubing in place. I'm just going to block it at the front. So after the intro, I'll show you the tools necessary to get that done and do it. Hopefully, it should be a fairly easy modification here. Please review the automotive information, repair, and modification guidelines on this screen. Seek the advice of a repair professional if you're unsure how to perform any repair or modification safely and correctly. All repairs and modifications are performed at your own risk. The list of tools and supplies for this particular task are fairly short, since it's a very simple modification. I'm going to use this water pump pliers to remove the clamp, release the tension on the clamp, and move it out of the way. So you need that. You have to have one that will expand a little bit further, because when you take it off its original position, it'll actually expand out a little bit further, so keep that in mind. I'm going to use this screwdriver handle here as my way to push in the cap into the tubing. It fits inside the actual cap that I have here. And I ended up picking up a 1-inch outside diameter copper tubing cap. I found some plastic PVC pipe stuff that was like 1.25 inches. Seemed a little bit too tight overall. Maybe it would have pushed in there okay, but I didn't want to stretch out the hose at all. So this is 1 inch outside diameter, because the hose that I'm going to be working with is a 1 inch inside diameter. So I figured that was a reasonably good match for that. And to make it a little bit easier to push in case there is any resistance putting it in, I have some Zano detailing spray. Any lubricant, water might work, but something that's a little bit soapy, or something like a detailing spray that gives a little bit of lubrication to it, so you can push it in there without fighting it too hard. So those are the items that you'll need to work on the car. Of course, you need to remove the engine cover to get access to everything. So let's get to it. To put the plug into the kazoo tube that I want to put in, I need to remove the engine cover. It'll just make it easier, because it's located right here. You could probably do what I'm doing with it on, but it's just so simple to remove the engine cover. Might as well just remove it, because you have your air box over here with your air filter, and then the tubing over to your throttle body here, and this is the source of the noise for the kazoo tube, so that's where I'm going to block it. So let's go ahead and remove the engine cover by popping it off. Back here, the fuel rails. You can see that it's not the original. Of course, it's an HSV cover that I took the original metric performance stats and replaced it with the Chevrolet plaque from a local trophy shop. So that makes it look a little more like it came from the vehicle. So to remove the tube from the hose from this tubing here, we need to open this clamp up. So in theory, you just need to compress it. Of course, you need to have something that'll be wide enough to be able to grab it when you want to reinstall it. So let's and mine, you can see, moved fairly easy. There's some glue on the hose here, so it looks like it's probably meant to be glued there, at least to keep the clamp in place. Mine wasn't, so yours may be a little bit more resistant to moving. And then from there, we should simply be able to walk this back, get this off. There's some mounting points for this part of the kazoo too, over here, so you're gonna have a little plate there. But there it is, off of the tubing nipple from the air inlet here. So we need, this is a 1 inch outside diameter. So we need something that's also similar, 1 inch outside diameter to go into this hose. So I'll show you the copper cap that I ended up getting to be that plug for this. So I'm going to take this copper 1 inch outside diameter cap, and I'm going to take some of my detailing spray that's good for putting on vinyl and other things other than detailing, and I'm going to use it as a lubricant by spraying it on the outside. I'm going to use the screwdriver head to help me apply the pressure, and I'm simply installing by pushing it in. And I believe I'm at the curve there, so I believe I'm all the way in there. All right, now we have the copper cap in there as my plug. So if you look down in here, there's the cap. It's down here basically at the bend of that hose. So all we need to do is get this positioned correctly to put back over this nipple that it came off of originally, and then get the clamp back in place. So let's gently work this back into place. Alright, we have the hose ready to go over there, which it's back over. And now we're going to use the pliers to expand the clamp again. And back into its original spot. Let it go. And make sure we didn't move anything here, so the device there is still on its 2 rubber mounting points, so everything's good there. So that's as simple as it is. The only thing we need to do now is get the engine cover reinstalled, and then we're done. Alright, I have my engine cover again. Make sure all the rubber protective pieces are still in place. These go over the various fuel rail locations that they snap over. And I did add this one onto the cover when I first got it because it was just bare plastic. I didn't want it vibrating or rubbing on anything. So actually this came off a previous Camaro engine cover that I have. But I put that on there to protect the fuel rail that crosses over the engine there. But let's get this back in place. With the aid of a flashlight underneath. Make sure I'm getting it into the right locations. Okay, now the fuel rail there, fuel rail there. I'm over the oil inlet there. I think we're in the right spots. So I should be able to snap these into place. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're back in place. Everything's where it should be. And that should complete the installation of the plug for the kazoo tube on this 2017 Chevrolet SS Sedan. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time and you want to, please subscribe. Click that bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos. Please follow Retro Car Guy 530 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks for taking the time to visit the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.